It's time for a haul video. I have so many great new releases that I've added to my collection that I'm so excited to share with you guys. I am long overdue for a haul, so I'm really pumped to share these new goodies with you. There are some amazing cherry fragrances, some like incredible new releases, couple disappointments. Let's jump right in with the brand new Alien Hypersense. This really, like, besides the bottle looking a bit different, it's extremely similar to Alien. You need not have both. This is a bit fruitier in the opening. I think it has mandarin and pear. But then it basically develops into the L'Oreal version of Alien. It's like soapy, light, white floral. I sense some similarities with even like YSL Libre a little bit. That white floral, like laundry-esque clean vibe. Except it's still ambery, rich, and warm. So I know that's a contradictive statement to say there's a laundry-esque freshness, but if you know that freshness that exists in YSL Libre, it's in here as well a little bit. Too much of this is headache-inducing. I did overspray it on my first wear. That was a boo-boo. And I do prefer the original Alien though, and my greatest fragrance wish would be for Alien to just transform back into its original form. That'd be amazing. Basically, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, let's cover the bad stuff out of the way because I don't want to talk about the bad stuff. I got this, actually it was sent in PR, and it's a brand that I really like called Perior, and they have a really amazing fragrance called Amoral. Amoral. This is Kama, and it's really sharp. It's got that ambery, woody sharpness, and I'm not qualified to review it because that's all I can smell. I don't really even want to open it because I already smell the sharpness from here. It's supposed to be this like spellbound, hypnotic, seductive fragrance, but I don't know if it's the leather note they used in here or what is going on, but it hurts and I'm so sorry. This is the part of my job that stinks, literally and figuratively. I don't like to say bad stuff like about brands that I really like, but I think this is a bad fragrance. But here are some good ones. So, Experimental Perfume Club has never let me down. I actually love all of their stuff. They just came out with Pistachio Haiku, which, oh my god, pistachio is one of my favorite nutty notes. This has this sort of woody, like tart freshness about it. It's so good. It has a creaminess, it has a gourmand facet, but it has this like airy bit of woodiness as well in there and no sharpness whatsoever. Kind of almost like a creamy, nutty quality, like pistachio cream. Oh, this is gorgeous. This would be fantastic for the cooler weather. It's not overly gourmand. I think it's such a stunning, creamy pistachio scent, like rich, warm, like creamy like whipping cream, not creamy like a lotion. I can see that signature touch that they have throughout a lot of their fragrances, like Cardamom Moss and Tonka Extraordinaire. They have a binding quality. It's very recognizable. It's like a kind of like a sweet, creamy, almost like a woodiness. I love it. I give this one a 10 out of 10. And they also have one called Smell Like a King, which, I mean, the name is like, how are you gonna tell somebody when they ask you what are you wearing and to tell them, oh yes, this fragrance called Smell Like a King. You're gonna seem a bit, a bit snobby maybe, but the fragrance is very nice. This has a lot more of this like fresh, woody, this is definitely masculine leaning. King-like, I would say for sure. Like I could see this being a very like upper class masculine scent, but not so masculine that I can't wear it. I would totally wear this. This smells so beautiful. All of their fragrances smell so good and they layer incredibly with one another. I can't wait to experiment layering all of these with the ones that I already have that are some of my favorites. So yeah, I do have a code with EPC and several other of the ones that I'm going to mention. So all of the codes will just be in the description. Okay, I picked this one up. This is the Lolita Lempicka original. This is just a little guy, just a 30 ml, but I had the original in like the old bottle and then I sold it and then I regretted it. And then I saw it at Shoppers Drug Mart for 20 bucks and I was like, hey, come be my friend again. I really like it actually. I feel like maybe my nose has gotten accustomed to like licorice notes because I don't actually smell a strong licorice note. This is like a cool powdery scent. There's iris in here which comes through like a cool powdery iris and vanilla and yeah, a bit of licorice, but you know what? Overall, it's quite an airy, light, very easy grab and go type of scent. I think it's very charming. It's a little bit whimsical, and it's not sweet, which I really love. The way that the bottle looks like it'll be sweet, but it's not sweet. I've been super disappointed with new designer fragrance releases on the whole, so I'm kind of rediscovering some old favorites and, you know, mostly niche stuff. Here are some really amazing niche fragrances. I threw out the boxes from these, but I kept the box from this so I could show you what the box looks like. This is from Maison Matine. I've been really obsessed with this brand since I got Bain de Midi, which is like my favorite summer fragrance. It's like a sunscreen vibe, but it's just so yummy. It's such a happy scent. So then I also got Warni, and I got Poum Poum. They're like double word names. And Hazard Bazaar. So like, I think that all brands just need to package their fragrances like this, because like we don't need elaborate packaging. Like, who needs that? And then this is it. That's it. That's what you get. So like, are you gonna feel bad throwing that out? Not me. And Hazard Bazaar is like a powdery, easy daily wear. I had such a hard time picking favorites through the Discovery set. Their Discovery set is super cute and quirky. They come wrapped like little candies, and I just worked through all of them. And I was like, I can't pick a favorite. So here I am with 3 more. This is just it's a very clean, powdery, crisp scent. Some people may liken it to baby powder. Rose, musk, vanilla, and the dry down is where the magic is. It just dries down to like a beautiful vanillic, alluring skin scent. If you like fragrances like Sonic Flower or Glossier You, that kind of thing, this would be right up your alley. It's different enough from those, but it's within that same kind of overall theme. Warni is like a spicy tea scent. It's kind of exotic. It has cardamom, orange blossom, tea, of course. And it's a light, airy tea, but with a bit of spiciness. It's warm. It's refreshing, but it's a warm kind of refreshing. I think all of their fragrances are amazing. I think every single one. And then Poum Poum is so cute. It's a kiwi floral type of scent. So it has freesia and peony, and it's kind of shampooy. You definitely get that like zingy sweetness from the kiwi. I would say it's one of the dominant notes. Like kiwi, freesia, and peony stand out the most in here. It's so addictive. For me, I think if I had to pick my 2 favorites, it would be Poum Poum and Bain de Midi. I could not stop wearing my sample of Poum Poum. It is so like fun, and it just like makes you think of those days when like fragrance life was easy. This is such a ridiculous thing to complain about. Well, like, you know, when like before you like really went into the fragrance rabbit hole and started like getting obsessed with like all this weird stuff, and then like normal fragrances didn't smell good to you anymore, and then suddenly you were like, but all this weird stuff is maybe a bit too weird, you know? And now you're back to like the happy, like ignorance is bliss days where just like good fragrances just smelled good. Like you just smell good. A couple new ones from Micallef. Well, new to me, not new, but I got Gin Tonic. This I honestly had higher hopes for. This does have that slight sharpness, that ambery woody thing in the dry down. But mostly it's like, you know, before it gets there in the opening, it's a very refreshing, crisp, kind of like masculine sporty fragrance. Really it just smells kind of like many fragrances I've already smelled along that masculine sporty fragrance DNA. I personally don't find it wearable for me. I think it's a bit too masculine. I do, however, absolutely love Eau Féminin. This is incredible. This is the classic like Micallef style that I discovered in early days that I just loved. Like it is a little bit like grown up smelling, very elegant, very regal, deep, like unapologetic, rich flavor in there. And I just think it's amazing. I think this is an exquisite scent. I did not wear all of this. I do have this available on the scented.ca for decanting. I wore quite a bit, but certainly not this much. If you guys want to sample any of these fragrances and you're curious to check them out, you can do so on my decant shop, thescented.ca. I will leave all the details in the description. Eau Féminin smells kind of like you know what it reminded me? A bit of the Miss Dior style, but airier. And not like so patchouli heavy. It's like a orange blossom version of that. And in fact, I'm not a huge orange blossom fan, but the way that it comes through in here, I guess it is essentially like a citrus rose patchouli scent with vanilla. except it's a lot more on the citrus side. So in that sense, maybe why I'm seeing likeness to Miss Dior, but it's not a similar scent at all. It just reminded me of that style. I think this is so incredibly beautiful. I like this type of orange blossom all day. Like, this is not so sweet the way that Love by Kilian, for example, is. This is a lot lighter and fresher. But I think this is an easy fragrance to wear all year round, really. And the next fragrance is from State of Mind, and it's called Secret of Success. And I think this is the only brand that has a glass cap. Let me know if you can think of any other brands that have a glass cap. This one is fully glass. Very cool bottles. This reminds me a little bit of a little known fragrance that I own called Morphosis from Soul Couture, which I told you guys before I'm like so obsessed with. It smells like a spa experience. Well, this kind of has that same spa-like vibe, but not in the sense that it's clean smelling. It has this like Nordic spa vibe where you smell a bit of like cedar smoke in the air, like the cedar wood itself and that crisp air. That's kind of what it gives me. It's a very comforting, very grounding type of scent. I think it's incredible. It doesn't actually have cedar, but it gives me that same essence. Lots of rosemary here, tea, grapefruit, cardamom, even a little bit of oud. A very soft, gentle oud. It is not an intense, like rich, like barnyard oud. This is a very gentle, soft oud. Overall, I think a very like zen type of scent. So this one you can find at So Avant-Garde. I have a code with So Avant-Garde. It's Yana 10. I think it's one of my only ones that isn't the scented 10. So just, yeah, keep that in mind. It's not the scented 10, it's Yana 10. And this one too came from So Avant-Garde. I was so excited for this one. It's called Indecent Cherry, and it is the most amazing cherry scent. Like, this is proper cherry. I wore so much of this when I wore it the very first time and I went out. And this was one of the few fragrances that I did not regret overspraying. It's like a really real cherry, and it has a bit of a soapiness to it. So when I wore it, it was like you get this like real burst of cherry and almost like a Chanel No. 5 Low vibe, like that kind of soapiness comes through when you wear it. And so it's bright and it's effervescent and it's still like intensely cherry. It's not warm cherry scent like cherry almond combinations, like typical cherry almond combinations. This is a little bit different. And I just think it's magical. And I think it is one of the best cherry fragrances of all time. There have been so many cherry fragrances. Cherry fragrances, they just keep going. So that one is another 10 out of 10 for me. I also got Fragrance du Bois Sirene. This is another cherry fragrance. I actually just received it the other day. I have not worn it yet. I did open it and spray it. And it smelled suspiciously ambery woody in the base. I'm not sure if it will develop that way on skin, but the opening is really nice, bright burst of cherry, and it's sweet, it's feminine. The bottle is really beautiful. But now smelling it on the paper, I do get quite a bit of oud and a little bit of this like ambery woody type of vibe. It's not milky. I don't get a milkiness in here. It's more of a woody, ambery, cherry type of scent. It's hard to think of what this reminds me of because actually I can't think of anything that it reminds me of. It's quite its own thing. The very last fragrance I think is such a cool, exciting new release because it is from Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil is like one of my favorite shows to ever go see. Anytime that they're in town, I always go see them. I think they're incredible. And they always put on such a whimsical, like spectacular show. So then this is their fragrance. And it's very on brand for them, I think. And it smells delicious. It actually smells like cotton candy and caramel, like toasted caramel popcorn. It's warm, vanilla bean, like toasty, sweet. It's yummy. Very few gourmands in the world that I truly really love. Janny is one of them. This is definitely one of them. I think apple freshens up a gourmand for me, and this has apple, and it's just like, it is just perfect. Like, honestly, just perfect. So yeah, this is another 10 out of 10 from this entire lineup. I wanted to end on a very high note. Let me know if you've tried the Cirque du Soleil fragrance, or like if you're excited about that, and if you're in general a Cirque du Soleil fan, because I am. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.